What is going on, everybody? This is Cabale with Cabale Media, and in today's video we are going over A/B testing examples. Stay tuned. Today we are going to go over A/B testing examples because I've been promising you this for weeks, and instead of me talking to the camera, I figured it would be easier, and this may be a little boring because it is a PowerPoint presentation, that I would read it off a PowerPoint. I know, again, very boring, but if you can't tell, I am a little bit under the weather. That's why there is no visual of me. If you can hear it in my voice, I'm a bit nasally, so I did not want to be on camera and scare everybody. We are going to go over 20 examples, or just about 20 examples of A/B testing and how to use them. And you'll see it written out on the screen. All the other videos were similar, but I discussed and gave pretty short answers. But here we can a little bit more in depth, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So let's start here. If this video looks a little bit blurry, I apologize, but I'm going to do the best I can do. So we talk about subject line, and here I have test different subject lines to see which leads to higher open rates. So two examples are save big now and exclusive discounts just for you. You can see here that the word play is completely different. Save big now versus exclusive discounts just for you. You, obviously meaning you the subscriber or you the customer. So if you see this here, exclusive discounts just for you is making it seem very exclusive. Like the discount is exactly that, just for you. And you're saying to yourself, wow, am I the only one getting this discount? I mean, to be honest, right, you're probably not the only one getting this discount. It's probably getting sent to hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, millions of people. But it seems so directed that it does seem like you're the only person that's getting this discount, in opposed to save big now, which is a very good call to action, where it uses a sense of urgency, meaning sense of urgency now, today, saving money at the current time. What do you think would resonate more with your audience? Is it going to be save big now, or is it going to be exclusive discounts just for you? You're going to have to test the subject lines and see which yields a higher open rate. I can tell you now from my experience, they've worked differently and have had different open rates depending on the type of industry at the time I've sent them. So using save big now or exclusive discounts just for you will be a great test to run, and from there you'll see which ultimately leads to the higher result. So save big now, exclusive discounts just for you, you can use either one. So if you want to alter these a little bit, you can do something like save big today. Now seems a little bit more, obviously now, today is the whole day, and now is a little bit more urgent. And exclusive discounts just for you, you can extend that to be maybe a friends and family sale, exclusive discounts just for you and your family. You can try both and then see what works better. Call to action CTA text. Changing the wording of your CTA to see which version drives more clicks. Buy now and get yours today. Buy now is a pretty simple call to action. Buy now, shop now. Those are pretty generic terms that I try to shy away from. I know it's something that people like to use all the time, but get yours today is just speaking so in the moment, I feel like. I think that something as simple as get yours today can make a bigger impact, because again, it's catering towards you as a person. Get yours today. When buy now, click now, shop now just seems very generic. And I think it's just overused a little bit too much, and people are using it so much that people get tired of seeing that. Of course, you're always going to have your tried and true customer base that is always going to buy from you, regardless if the call to action is buy now, click now, or shop now. But I think if you are trying to win over new customers, something like get yours today, get mine today is something that is more ideal to the situation, because you want to try and get more sales. So I think if you're trying to spruce it up a little bit, using something like get yours today, get mine today is a great way to change it up. Take me to the bestsellers. It's just giving them some more actions other than your traditional CTAs. Again, like the buy now, shop now, click now. Try the longer CTAs, get yours today and see what works, but also compare it to the shorter CTAs for buy now and buy now, click now. Email layout. Compare a single column layout to a multi-column layout to assess user engagement. Now, single versus multi can depend, just like other A/B testing variables, comes down to a few different things. Do you really need a full, 3-panel or 2-panel, or is one just enough? Things like newsletters tend to have multi-columns, and it does serve them well because they have a lot of information. But if you're a company who doesn't necessarily need that many things, I think 1-column layouts work out just fine. It could be as simple as some information and then maybe a product underneath it. And that's if you have maybe one product to share or a new product. Now, if you're a B2C brand, it probably makes sense for you to have a multi-column layout. You would have something like a image to the left or right with text to the left or the right, and then a CTA. And then it just lays out a little bit more evenly and evenly distributed, so it's easier for the subscriber to read your email. Conversely, like I said, you can always have one layout where it's just image, button, which a lot of people have, and I've seen it work multiple times. You could do it either way. And it doesn't really matter. I think it just matters on what you feel works the best. But I think you should try it out. I think that multi-column is a little bit neater if you're selling a lot of products. But it really depends on how you feel, because you can do something as easy as a header image and then maybe... So technically, if you do something like a header image and then a 3-product row or a 3-column row, it is multi-column. So you can test it out that way, where it's single, multi, or just do all single and then multi. There are a lot of brands out there. Ralph Lauren generally does I'm a big fan of his emails. And a lot of his emails are just images cut up. They don't do a lot of necessarily mobile-friendly designs. They have an image and then maybe 3 slices of products, and then they take you right directly to the shopping page, and it's not really a multi-column. It's just one image sliced in 8 different directions. Try and compare single versus multi, and then see what works best for you. Images and emails. Test emails with images against emails without to determine the impact on engagement. So we've discussed this in the last video. An email with a hero image versus one without any images. If you're trying to keep things clean and aesthetic, I always feel that a hero image is needed. Now, with that said, I'm sure you've seen emails with just logos, and that's pretty common and normal too, especially for something as simple as a newsletter. One, for example, is Morning Brew. They're literally just an image and then text below it, but there's a lot of text below that image. Morning Brew is made specifically for a certain type of reader, with little bits of information given about certain stories and then directed to a landing page. I feel if you're a colorful brand, your Nikes of the world, toy brands, sneaker brands, those have great header images and they never lack any creativity. That's why you really have to test. I can probably almost guarantee that if you have a brand like a Nike or something maybe even like an Urban Outfitters or any type of style brand, that there's always going to be a header image, and they are always going to perform better with a header image in the email, just because it's the type of brand that they are. Now, again, if we're talking about something like a Morning Brew, a newsletter, they'll probably perform better with no images because people want information. And you may be able to read it right away just because you know your audience so well that one type of header, meaning header or no header, may perform better. Again, test it out and see what results you get. Personalization, my favorite. Checking the effectiveness of personalized greetings versus generic greetings. As much as I love personalization, I do sometimes get shocked at how poorly personalized emails do perform. Yes, it yields a higher open rate, but they don't necessarily increase sales. I think having it is a good way to get better open rates, right? In order to get them to open your emails and produce more sales. But it doesn't necessarily always produce sales, because if your content inside the email sucks, then there's an issue. So if you already know you have amazing performing emails, meaning the body copy, but somehow you seem to have crappy open rates, personalization is a great way to get them to open the email. Having it say, hey, Betty, or whatever name you want to enter, try that and then see what happens. I can tell you just from my experience, maybe because I've been doing this for so long, I don't necessarily care if it says my name in the subject line because I know what they're doing. And your customers may have picked it up too, that you've been personalizing for a reason. They may not know the exact reason, but they can see that you're personalizing their name in the subject line. I think always try it out. I'm a big fan of personalization just because I think it draws bigger open rates. But again, just like I said, remember that it doesn't necessarily generate more sales. Putting something like their name, company name, some type of date in it just makes it more appealing to the customer's eye. Email length. Experiment with the length of your content to find the optimal amount of information. Long emails suck, and I think people have to realize that. Unless you're a newsletter, you probably shouldn't be doing long, drawn-out emails 95% of the time. As you can see from the example here, a brief, concise email versus a long, more detailed one. If you're selling a product, people just want to buy that product. I don't think they need this long, drawn-out, descriptive email that is not direct. I think it needs to be as direct as it could possibly be, as concise as it possibly could be, and showcasing the benefits that they're going to get from purchasing your product or service. Now, I've also tested, and I'm sure many of you tested, that longer emails do work for some people. But again, certain crowds, certain demographics love those long emails. And if your crowd is younger, your demographic is younger, longer may not be the answer. Test both out and then see what happens. Time of sending. So I've given you pretty specific times, right? 10 a.m., 5 p.m. It really just comes between, is it going to be early morning or late evening? Or is it going to be the afternoon? We've determined that afternoon sends are probably the worst, right? Sending it after lunch. People are falling asleep at their desks because they've had lunch. So you have one of two options, which would be early morning or late in the evening. Now, early morning, they're commuting. They'll probably be at their desk by 10. Late evening, they're probably already at home watching Netflix after dinner. Maybe they're looking to shop, right? So if you send an email, let's say around 5 or 6 o'clock, they've been home or they're on their way home. By the time they open their email, it's going to be about 6 or 7 o'clock. They're a little bit more focused now that they're not at work. So they'll be able to answer your email and have more focus on what you're selling. So focuses are different. Sorry, is that even a word? Focusing is different in the morning and at night. In the morning, they're just trying to get to work or get their job done. At night, they're just trying to rest. So as much as it has been criticized that sending emails too late isn't a good thing, your focus is a little bit different at night. Test both out, see what the clear winner is. Frequency of emails. Determine how often subscribers prefer to receive emails. Weekly versus bi-weekly newsletters. I always say that bi-weekly is probably the least you should be sending emails, and weekly, once a week, is a good balance. Weekly, I probably think, is your best bet. You should always try to stay in their mind because it's important that you're in front of them as much as you could be without annoying them. You just have to make sure that your content is relevant every week. Meaning, is it resonating with your audience? Does it make sense to be sending these things? Is it the appropriate time? Is it the appropriate information? Let's say it's Christmas week. You don't want to be sending things about next year already. I mean, people do that. They're already preparing themselves for the next quarter. So, is it the right information you're putting in the emails? You're the only one who really knows that. But we're talking about frequency. So, what's the best? Test out bi-weekly, test out weekly, test out multiple emails a week, test out one email a week, see what works the best, find the sweet spot, and then continue to send at that frequency. Testing different types of offers, so you can do dollar amounts or percentage amounts. Which ones work better? Now, I think that highly depends on what you're selling. Is it worth for you as the owner or the business to give out a very big discount? It might be. Maybe you're trying to get rid of something. Maybe there's a product that's just not selling, and it would work better for you to maybe heavily discount something off at 50% off, maybe $50 off, depending on what the product is. Considering how long this YouTube video is, it's probably a good video to listen to in the background, just being honest. Something like a 25% discount, even a 20% discount, is pretty hefty. And the people who do 30% discounts that are not selling on, let's say, like a Black Friday, good for you. Those are great discounts. Now, your company could have very, very great pricing, great margins, so you're able to do certain types of discounts. Any type of discount to me is great. I mean, if we're talking about like a 10% discount, I don't think it's the best. I mean, that's barely anything. Probably the smallest discount you can get away with is about 15%. $5 off actually isn't that bad depending on what it is, but I would ear for something the least at 15% if you're going to go with a percentage discount. And then probably 5. Well, 5 is generally the least, but somewhere between $5 and $10, with $10 being ideal as your dollar discount, and then again against something like 15% off. Color of CTA buttons. Comparing different colors for your CTA button to see which drives more clicks. Now, red seems to be the hottest CTA button there is when it comes to sales. Red just has that urgent color that says, buy me now. But a lot of brands actually don't use red. They actually just really use the button according to their style guide and or what the email looks like. So can't always trust that one button is always going to work the best. Blue is very known for being comfortable. As you see here, red versus blue. Some people even use white or black. Sometimes I think just sticking to your style guide is probably the best option, just because it just keeps this cohesive layout and it looks better overall aesthetically. So, you tell me what works better for you, and then when I'm done with this video, or when you're done watching this video, drop it in the comments and tell me what colors work better for your CTAs when you're selling products. Email signatures, varying the complexity of the email signature to analyze its impact. Simple versus one with social links and additional contact info. Both actually work pretty good. I think a lot of people still like to go and visit social media, so I think it's good to have social medias in the signature. You obviously don't want to color it up too much, right? Having solid small icons at the bottom of your email, I think, are great. So varying the complexity of it is really totally up to you. I don't think you have to put everything like your website and your title or whatever at the bottom of the email. I think keeping it clean, a simple signature, signing off, and some social links is the best way to go. But test it out and let me know how you do. Pricing display. Test displaying prices in different formats or with different emphasis. Meaning crossing out of the prices, right? Listing the price versus hiding the price until the end of the email. You could do that too, kind of a reveal. Or you could do one of those things where you put the price and then slash the non-sale price out. I think that actually works great, so you can see how much you're saving. Obviously, you don't want to lie just to sell, but make it appealing. Show them that, hey, this is how much you're saving. Or, again, if you want to shock them or surprise them, you could hide the price until the end of the email. Whichever way works for you, let me know. Social proof. UGC are great content creators of the world. So user reviews are actually really good to have. I actually find them to be very appealing and very, converting. They do help with social proof. Showing what people think about the product. I'm pretty sure if you're an Amazon shopper, you see what people feel about the product, you're more inclined to buy that. So use social proof as a way to convert more and to give your product this extra boost of if you understand what I'm talking about. It just shows that people like your product. So test it against with reviews or without reviews and see what performs best. Video content, you can't really actually embed video content in the emails. You can generally just put a screen cap and have it go over to YouTube or your website. I think they're good to have in your videos because people think they're actually clicking on the video itself to play it. Now you can obviously have things like animated GIFs and all that, but you can't actually embed a video into your email service. Now you actually can't embed an email into your email service provider. Maybe you can. Maybe it's something I'm missing, but try it out, see what happens, and if you could, great. If you can't, then direct it to YouTube, because you also could be monetizing that way if you have a YouTube chat. Interactive elements. Use interactive elements like sliders or quizzes in one variant. Interactive quiz versus static image. This is something where the customer could be engaging more. So having an interactive quiz, I think, is great. It just leads to more engagement and they're more likely to participate. Try it out versus a static image and then see what results you get. I'm pretty confident that if you put an interactive quiz, a lot of people will actually want to participate in the quiz. Altering the preview text to see how it affects the open rate. I like the preview text, which a lot of people I feel don't utilize to their advantage. A descriptive preview text versus mysterious teasers. Mysterious meaning something where you put a line, for example, see what we have in store ... or you won't believe until you see this ... or descriptive preview. See the amazing product named, and then enter your product name here and see what it could do for you. So you can get very descriptive or leave some imagination to the mind. I think imagination always, or anticipation always makes, I always think that using your imagination, I always think that using teaser text is something to get the customer engaged and intrigued, and they're more likely to want to click on your email. Font styles. I hate the fonts that are generally in ESPs, so anything from Arial to Times New Roman, I hate them both. Try to use things in there like Century Gothic, Roboto. They look really sharp, really clean. Again, I've spoke about sans serif and serif. I hate serif fonts. I'm sorry, I hate. Yes, do I hate sans? Yeah, I hate serif fonts. I like sans serif because I take off those dumb tails on the damn fonts. So, again, it depends on your audience. See what works best for you. Sans versus serif. And then go from there. Generally younger like sans serif. So, depending on your demographic, you'll know what works better. Changing the background colors of your emails. Light versus dark. Just so people know, it does seem like a lot of this is repetitive, but this is giving you more of a visual. So if you want to take screen captures of these so it's easier if you don't remember, you can use this as your own type of PowerPoint. If you don't want to go back and watch my other videos, this is quick. It gives you, again, you could take a screen capture and then you can use this. Light versus dark, right? There's many brands that you use one against the other. Dark brings a very mysterious look. Light brings a very happy, upbeat, clean, and pristine look. Which kind of brand are you? You tell me. Drop it in the comments below and let me know. What do you think works better for your brand? Light versus dark background. Urgency language. Experiment with language that creates a sense of urgency versus a more relaxed one. Hurry, sale, and soon versus take your time, shop at your leisure. Take your time, shop at your leisure, I actually think is awful. Hurry, sale, and soon is better, but I think it's overused. So what do I think the best answer is? To be honest with you, I really don't know. It really depends on your brand. But I always think using an urgency tactic like hurry is great. You just have to find a way to use it better and use better wordplay in order to intrigue the customer. But sale ends soon, 3 days left, 1 day left, less than 2 hours, I think it always works great because you're more likely to buy because you think time is running out. Gets me to buy stuff. And then finally, segmentation. If you're not segmenting correctly, you are not going to make sales and your emails are going to perform bad. Target the right segments. Buyers, AOVs, unengaged, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, certain states, people who have bought certain products. You have to segment to the right people or you're never going to get a high return of investment. You can't send the same emails to everybody at the same time because some people have bought more, some people have bought less, some people buy certain products, some people buy other products. Segment correctly, don't be lazy, take your time to analyze the data and make sure you're sending the right email to the right people at the right time with the right wording. Guys, this was a long video finally, and if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. You can drop comments down below. You can email me at jcabale@cabalemedia.com, or you can visit cabalemedia.com and you can get your free 30-minute consultation, and that's about it. So sorry I'm not on video this week. As you can tell, I'm a little sick. But again, this is Janice Cabale with Cabale Media, and I'll see you at the next video.